this series on entrepreneurship, we are going to discuss about three things which entrepreneurs should have, but it is not easy, and these three things generally are elusive, and it will be extremely lucky if you get all the three things in time. What are those three things? First one is the advice or the knowledge either the entrepreneur himself or herself should have, or the team which is getting formed should have. What happens is that when you want to build a team which has got a knowledge, then if you go and ask for that kind of an advice, how to set up or what kind of knowledge or skills these teams should have, getting those knowledge either in the form of advice or setting up that practice or getting those people around, that will be extremely difficult. The second one, which would be elusive, is the kind of help you ask for. When you ask for help, here the help means that you have the right set of people to execute the way it is supposed to be executed, which means you should have the right team, you should have the right resources, you should have the right equipments, you should have everything that is right. That means you pay for it and you are going to get that help as a maybe in the form of a human resource or in the form of equipments, etc. Because the entrepreneur on his own, he cannot do everything. So he has to say in the form of money or in any other form like equity or in any other form, he has to trade with and get these people or these equipments or all the resources around to help accomplish that purpose. The third thing is finance. When you want X dollars or X amount of money at a particular time, the chances of you getting that money in that time is very, very difficult, because the person who is going to lend you or going to give you money will think a lot of things about the entrepreneur, and entrepreneur also thinks a lot about the product, the market, etc., etc. In that process, there could be some exaggeration, there could be some mistakes in the forecast or in the planning, or it could be in excess of what is required, or in another way, it could be completely opposite, that the entrepreneur does some mistakes in the forecast or something and he asks for a shorter amount of finance. That obviously means that even if you get that money or you get part of that money, it is going to have an impact on your working capital, which means that suppose you want X dollars and you are getting only say 50% of that X. What happens is that for the remaining 50%, you are going to ask for some loans, which means that you have to service that loan. That means you have to pay interest, and it creates a lot of complications. And if suppose there is a delay in your project for some reason, again you have to go for a second round of funding, either in a debt fashion or equity fashion. So it is going to have a repercussion. So getting finance in time is the third elusive thing. So what should be the right mix? That's what we are going to focus now. When you set up an entrepreneur journey, okay, get the people around who are knowledgeable on the subject or the domain or the one which you are trying to do. If you yourself are not that competent or conversant enough on that subject. Try to get the good understanding of the subject in which your product or service is going to be. Maybe if required, you educate yourself, you go up the ladder in terms of getting certified, going to different forums, and getting to know about whatever that needs to be done to know. So get a good understanding of the subject so that there is a value in terms of knowledge as an organization which you are trying to build. The second set of activities would be like we have to find the right set of team who can work on their own, self-motivated. They should have the problem-solving skills, enough wherewithal to compete, cooperate, and of course solve the problems that come through on the way. And as an entrepreneur, what you should do is that you have to help them succeed. Because if they don't succeed, you can't succeed. So help them to succeed. Third thing is on the financial planning. Have a complete planning in terms of your cost structure, in terms of your revenue structure, and the unit between the cost structure and the revenue structure. There should be a mapping. You can make a lot of assumptions around that, but ensure that somewhere the cost structure and the revenue structure have got something in common in terms of an unit. It could be a conversion. It could be like for a customer, you may be selling X number of items, but your planning element could be on another parameter and your revenue could be on different set of parameters. But try to have the mapping between the cost planning and the revenue planning, and try to have a common unit that will help you to pin down all the cost and revenue per unit, okay, whatever that means in your business. And if you don't have the required money or enough money in terms of time, then you must be prepared for a longer haul, which also has got a difficulty because you have to pay your salaries and other expenses, etc., etc. So once you are on this journey of entrepreneurship, try to get these three things which are not so easy to get all the three in time. That is the knowledge or the advice, the help or the team or the resources. Third one is the finance in terms of money or in any other way. We will continue to see more on entrepreneurship in the coming videos. And this is Gokul. Thank you for watching Business Doctor. Have a nice day. Cheers.